Destruction of natural
Episode
coastal
5.
habitats is sometimes
Maneater.
necessary to build vacation homes for private equity fund
I got
partners.
so much done in episode 4. Mineral degradation, digestion. Organ, mineral digestion. Organs, hardy. Fins, bone fin. This evolution turns you into spinning bone blade bender of destruction. 3 damage resistance, 3 ramming damage. Inflict 30 damage to anything within 1 meter. Nice, that's sick. Upgrade. Oh my god, that's sick. Alright. Now we got bones on our fins. Like an exoskeleton. That's so bad. Bino. I haven't figured out what green does yet, but I know it's rare and I'm gonna take it if I can. Alright. So I'm thinking we should go back to the beginning of the game where they had those adult gates. Let's see if I can't find out what was in there. Honestly, I think they were on the other side of this. There was no Makos here before. Everything's getting bigger. Is it a boat? The Makos are replacing all the alligators, it looks like. Nice. They can't cancel anymore now because of my bones. Oh, I feel so vicious when I do play this game. Okay. Fin some, lose some? Let's go check that out.
The water churns into a frenzy of feeding.
I got him. He thought he had me. Where you going? Come back here. He went after the wrong shark. I love that. We can also get those license plates now. Get 3 of them usually. Now that I'm bigger, I'm gonna go for 4.
While it can be fun to explore the land, it's always best for sharks to stay wet and oxygenated.
Oh, it's fun to explore the land. Come on. You fin some, you lose some. I only have 1 more.
Somebody's drinking team has a drowning problem.
Shadowfin evolution sets at speed and poisonous attacks that are mostly effective against wildlife and humans. to collect the whole set. Oh no, I just got bone fins. I guess the question is, should I keep the bone fins or go for poison fins? Oh no, now I'm stuck in a swimming pool. No, let me out. Bouncy, bouncy. I want some human in
It
me.
takes 3 hours of training and
Oh, no.
$8 to
The
become
hunters
a
are
licensed
here.
shark hunter. Though very few bother with this formality.
Oh man, they got machine guns. I'm trying to hit the boat. I might resort to the poison just because it said it was good against humans. I don't know how I feel about having blue teeth. That was awesome! This game's so much better now that I'm level. Is that a special guy? He looks special. Nope. He's just a hillbilly. Get in that pool. It's me and you. They're gonna send a hunter after me. Watch. A special hunter, I mean. It never lets me win like this. Oh god.
By putting sharks in their place, hunters
Candyman
ensure
Curtis,
they'll
here he
stay in
comes.
their lane.
I called it.
So we don't have a Planet of the Apes situation
There
on our
he
hands.
is.
The fishing phenom, Candyman Curtis.
That's the only one I want. We're going for. Oh man, he's got a freaking M4. Go for Candyman and get out of here. I got him. I got him. That was so
Only time
easy.
will
He came
tell
right
whether
to me.
Government actions can diminish Port Clovis's reputation as a shark attack hotspot.
Yeah. Look at this. It's crazy. All right. Mercy. They can't catch me in here, huh? I'm safe here. I might have found a new place to hide. When they get too bad, I can just go hide in a swimming pool. They're not gonna look in here. There's TNT somewhere, okay. They're gonna find me, but
Sharks and traders come every year to Baton Rouge because what other way is there to celebrate killing beautiful animals for tasteless, nutritionless body parts than a $450 round of golf?
To catch a shark, one must be as quick as a shark.
ow. Oh, that guy called him in. Crap, I know I heard someone.
I heard you this whole time, but I was not able to respond.
That's alright, I'm streaming.
The shark proves
How much
as
time do you
slippery
need?
As it is deadly.
No, I'm back.
Are you already back?
Yeah.
I started an episode of Manhunter.
Okay, I can wait.
Okay. I usually do like 1 hour episodes. You want me to try to stream it again? So you can see?
Sure.
Alright. Oh god. Then you can be part of the stream. This is episode 5. Hold on. Okay. Oh crap. I don't know if I can share. See what it says when you go into the share settings.
Okay.
Because I was sharing earlier. But I'm not sure if it
Share
states.
settings, start share playlist, share play test connection.
Like last time it showed it up there, right? Because it won't let me add it from, I might have to do it from the settings, hold on. The button that I would usually press to share is on the live stream right now, so. I'm not sure if I can stream to both. I want to get my Twitch set up again.
If this was on Twitch, I would have, like, watched it
Joined.
with you.
Okay, after... I can make this a short episode, and then tonight,
Since
I'll make
the
a Twitch account.
mid-20th century, an
So this I'll
increasing
just
number
make
of
like a
oceanographers have
like a half an
warned
hour
about
episode.
uncontrolled
It's already been
development
like
of the
15
sea.
minutes, so.
Okay.
With little fanfare, another bounty
Should
hunt
we just
comes
turn
to
this
a
into a
close.
podcast and talk about something then?
Sure.
Okay, let me look up questions.
Do
We should do a podcast.
it up.
The
I'm down.
Abandoned Sibling Podcast.
Oh my god. I'm down. So have you ever had your mother ask someone for help and then publicly try to shame you for
ever
actually
had
helping?
Your mother grope your ass?
I remember the
Catfish
first time
are
I met my mother, her
anonymous, meaning
titties she pulled
someone
out.
Special someone won't be coming
Man, I
home
love
tonight.
seeing my mom's nipples.
I love that our mom's the same person.
Just post this and one day she's gonna find it, be like, ah, dang it!
Oh, I'm sure she won't. I'm sure she won't put in any effort to see what her kids are doing.
We should have a whole series where we just shit talk her.
Well, she kicked us off Facebook for being honest, remember, so
Yeah.
might as well. She'll just block my YouTube and Twitch too. So yeah, I put my Twitch account under that card that my money was going into, the one that locked my account. So because they locked my account, the card is no longer considered a card, even though technically it is. So they effed everything. Not only did they F my like money coming in, they also made sure my Twitch got shut down. Like, worst bank in the world. By the way, never get US Bank. This is what happens when you treat people like crap. We advertise. What's your bank? Chase. I love Hometown Bank. I've used Hometown Bank. I've had problems with TD Bank. Not big problems, it's just like they charge you for everything, you know what I mean? And it's like if I'm gonna put money in a bank, I want to be able to make something off of it, especially because they use your money to make money, you know what I mean? TD Bank is the biggest scam. Not really though, because like they give you their free coffee in the morning, and then they stay open late, and they're open on the weekends. Now I'm helping them. But no, they charge you for everything, TD Bank. So like you can put money in your savings account and you will never make money. Hometown Bank though, whenever I've had issues, they've always been there to help me. Like their app is easy to use. So I usually always use Hometown, right? But because it was part of the direct deposit, the US Bank, they just set it up and gave me the card. And because they get things from the government, they don't care about their customers in any way. They know they're gonna get unemployment money, disability money. They're gonna get any money, VA money. So why be nice to their customers when they're guaranteed customers? You know what I mean? Which, by the way, our Constitution's not supposed to work with banks. Our government, you know, its Constitution says banks are, like, literally evil. Banks destroy economies. But don't worry about the U.S. Constitution. The government knows what they're doing. That's why they put you in jail for talking. That's why they're trying to take your gun rights away. They charge you to go fishing. They charge you to go hunting. They charge you to live on your own land. They charge you to purchase food. Actually, no, that's the only thing they don't tax. Yeah. Which in our Constitution says water may not be bought or sold or owned. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, like, if I was to make any change, I would make water free.
If I was going to make any change, I would make all liberties, rights, and duties free. That's fishing. That's hunting. Now, there should be a limit. Like, if you're overfishing, that's a crime. But that doesn't mean everyone who needs a fishing license needs to pay. Driving, by the way, is a right. They don't put it in as a right, but it is. Everyone should have the right to drive.
Overdevelopment of the shoreline leads to a wide variety of negative environmental impacts. But you should see the Italian-designed walk-in closets inside these condos.
Like, the worst pet peeve.
What, from our mother?
But yeah, I'll hear from my mother.
We should open up by explaining the situation. So, she had our brother Sean at 16 years old, right? Left his dad not even 2 years after to marry my father. Had me at 18. Left him a year later. Left me and Sean to foster care. Sean ended up moving with his grandparents, but I went into foster care. Then she moved south to North Carolina. Got pregnant. Tried to abort that baby. But the lady that was helping our mother decided to take that child and name her Mary because my mother didn't have a name for her. That's our sister Mary. And then, out of shame, decides to run to Florida. My father actually flew me down to Florida to see her. She fucked him over, so he couldn't afford to stay down there, so he moved back to Mass with me. And then she ran to Texas. And then you can take up the story from there, huh?
Well, we forgot about our very disappointing
I don't even know.
brother. We forgot about our disappointment of a brother who's a pedophile.
Yeah, well, that's where you come in. So, she goes to Texas and has Nick.
She has to with a gay guy that isn't my father. Some random gay guy that is also the same father of Mary's, apparently.
Mary's,
they moved
okay.
to Texas together. So Mary and Nick have the same father.
Oh, so even better. So she got pregnant by him in North Carolina, left him to go get back with my father, who she left to get back with Mary's father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Nick came before Mary, I believe.
Oh, that's true. When did Nick...
I
Wait.
think Nick was born in 97. Yeah, 97.
How old is Mary?
Only the prosperity created
He's
by
the worst
global
brother in the world.
capitalism allows vacationers
And
to
Nick's
purchase
24?
Sunyer buns and Port
25.
Clovis ashtrays.
25. Okay, so she had a 3-year
You know it's-
break?
You
Wow.
know it's bad whenever we don't even know our sibling order.
Well, yeah, you drop one off in every state. I bet you we have one we don't know about. How much you want to bet?
Well, we have 3 dead ones.
Oh, I didn't even know that, so...
Yeah, so before Nick, she had an abortion.
Oh, that's why there was such a big gap. Because she had killed one.
And then she tried for Mary, but then Judy was like, "Oh, I'm not taking that." And
Yeah.
Judy, bless Judy, saved
Oh, yeah.
saved her. And then before my mom met my dad, she had 2 more abortions.
Is Judy alive?
Yeah, I think so. She just has very poor health. Like,
Mary made it seem like Judy died, and I honestly thought Judy was dead for the longest time. And then I saw her Facebook, and I'm like, wait a minute. Judy's commenting
I
on
thought
my
she was
stuff.
dead, too. Yeah, she has
It's like when our
um,
fathers died, we at least
cirrhosis.
let them die before we said they died.
When our fathers died, they actually died.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Mom had 2 more abortions. They were apparently both girls. So she seemed to like to abort baby girls.
You know
The
how
one
rare
that
it
she
is to have
aborted before
2,
Nick
3
was
boys,
also a
then
girl.
girls? Oh, okay.
So
Because that's really rare.
all of her kids that she aborted were female. And then she meets my dad at an AA meeting, both trying to get off the drugs. My dad successfully got off the drugs, but then had a brain aneurysm.
What was his drug of choice, do you know?
He never really told me. Like, alcohol was his main problem, but he did try stuff.
Because in the beginning, that was Mom's only problem, was alcohol. When Mom was with my dad, it was just alcohol.
Makos are easily identified by their conical snout and crescent-shaped caudal.
I'm lucky I was born young, like that she was young when she had me. Because that's what happens when you do drugs, you know.
Yeah.
One of my friends had a baby who was like the most cross-eyed thing you've ever seen, and she did Percocet the entire birth, the entire time waiting. So go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so
with a
my dad had a brain
sensationalized
aneurysm,
1776
and he
essay.
couldn't work his job. He was like a millionaire at one point. So if she moved in with him, he ended up with like a good, like 600K that he had. And
she likes to get with people with money. That's
she
normal.
didn't care, and they were just like roughing around, and they randomly got pregnant with me. They told my grandpa was pissed. He was like, nuh-uh, you guys are not being that irresponsible to have another baby with that woman.
When she came up to see me, when Ryden was born, she was like, I want another kid. And I'm like, you are not having a kid younger than your grandson. It's not happening. Like,
yeah.
And right now, guess what would be happening if she did?
Well,
she'd be asking
like
for her 22-year-old kid to freaking support her and her sister that's younger than her nephew. Not to mention her boyfriend's younger than me right now. Just throw that out there. Younger than me and Sean.
So that is the family tree line, but the abuse.
You know, it's funny too. She came to see me. She was like, "The apple don't fall far from the tree." I said, "No, in this case, the apple dropped and the tree ran away." Oh God. She's been telling me for the last like 10 years she's gonna come up and see me, and I know she's never coming back. I mean, she says like she wants to be there for riding and whatnot, but what are the odds that she actually does?
What is the odds that she'll want to be with her daughter? You know, that is still like a teenager and needs a mother.
Which one? You?
Me.
Yeah, because she's still trying somewhat with you, at least because she thinks that she can get stuff out of you. Me and Mary said we're kind of sick of it, and now all of a sudden we're the biggest piece of shit children in the world. Even though I housed her. And all I asked her to do was not leave open alcohol. I said, don't leave. This is ridiculous. Are you kidding me? So the only person in the end who hasn't housed her will be Sean, because I'm sure she'll end up in jail with Nick.
So my story time with my mother is it was March 11th. That would be my father's 51st birthday, but he died 3 months prior, so it was a very emotional day. She drove up to Mesquite, but her car broke down, and she said, Carmen, I'm here for his Remembrance Day. Your father, your amazing father, my husband. I'm like, this is not your husband.
She does the same thing with my dad when he died fucking 2 weeks later. Or 3 weeks ago.
And I pick her up.
A year later.
And she gets into the car. And first thing she does is grabs my thigh and said, wow, you've gained a lot of weight.
Oh my God. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. So I just
You're looking fat too.
I grab her hand and put it on the stick shift and say, you're only allowed to touch this, and if you even do touch this, I'll cry.
Oh God.
So I drive her to my house, and I notice my cat's not there. And I'm like, where's Squeaky? Now Squeaky's been lethargic for the past 3 days. 10 minutes later, my grandparents come home and told me they put down Squeaky without my permission. On my father's birthday, that he died, and my mom just starts screaming and cussing them out, and they walk into a different room. Then my mom walks up behind me, grabs my ass, and says, you got mama's ass! Like, all that didn't happen. So I lost my cat and my dad, and then my mom groped me.
I got a
I
picture.
was devastated.
I was sitting in the hallway and like smoking a cigarette one day, and my mother came out, and I don't remember what the fuck the reason why was, but she just started like UFC wrestling me because she like knew I did like martial arts. Literally put like her leg around my throat, fell backwards, and then like wrapped her other leg around like my stomach, right? So I'm like grabbing her. There's pictures of it too, because Paige was taking pictures of the whole thing. My mom's fucking like, it's like a UFC fight between me and my mother in the fucking hallway.
With Diana?
Yeah. I'll show you pictures. I have pictures somewhere. I wish I didn't get rid of my old Facebook because they were on there. But I was like, yeah, weekend with my mom before I kicked her out. And there's like a picture of her biting my leg. Like, it also like in the same situation. Like, she's wrapped around, her legs around my throat, the other leg's around my arm, and then she's like biting my leg. And that was after she showed me her tits. And then right before she pushed Paige down the stairs. Well, I don't know. The story I've heard 3 different ways. So Paige and her were arguing, right? I don't know what they're arguing about, but Paige is not argumentative, so that should say something. Like, she doesn't argue. So my mom did something very fucking rude. Probably something along the lines of touching her, because you know how she is. Very touchy. She raised Nick, after all. The only one she raised. Pedophile. But, so Paige is standing at the top of the stairs where the baby gate is. I'm like, you know what? I'm going out to have a cigarette. Like, I'm not gonna be part of this. So I walk out to the hallway, and I hear boom, 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 boom. Paige is at the bottom of the fucking stairs. My mom's standing at the top of the stairs with her hands up in the air, like, I didn't do it.
Oh my god.
And then me and my mom and Bryce went to Walmart, and Paige was like, I'm gonna take a nap, you know, like, she was still kind of hurting and whatnot. So she goes to get Tylenol, right? She goes and grabs a Tylenol bottle out of our sink, out of our mirror, because it's our Tylenol bottle, right? Well, my mom didn't want to tell us that she was on extreme psych meds and was hiding her Seroquel 800 milligram tablets inside of our Tylenol bottle. So my wife, who takes no medication, took fucking 1,600 milligrams of Seroquel. 300 is enough to probably put you on your ass. And we didn't know what was going on. We got to the house, and she was fucking convulsing on the couch, like shaking everywhere. And we couldn't wake her up. So I'm shaking her like, what did you do? Like, I'm like mad at Paige, thinking she did some drugs or something, you know what I mean? She looked like she's on heroin. And I couldn't get anything out of her other than, like, I was just taking Tylenol. My legs were shaking crazy, and I couldn't control my legs. And then my mom's like, oh my God. I'm like, what?
North American
she's like, I put my pills in a Tylenol bottle. I'm like, why? Why would you take the one med that everyone takes? I'm just happy Ryden was just born. Because, like, 3 months prior, she would have been pregnant and Ryden would have died.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Ryden was an infant and they were leaving half-empty nip bottles around my house. Which, for people who aren't in New England, nips are like the tiny alcoholic. What do you guys call those? Like the little shots that you buy?
I don't drink, so I don't know.
Yeah, all I know is in New England, we're the only ones who call them nips. But when you go to the liquor store and you buy like the little one-shot nips, they're one-shot beverages, there's another name
that
for
was
it.
a bad one.
Paige, that was the only way she could count what she was drinking. Because she's such an alcoholic. If you gave her a big bottle, she'd drink the whole thing and wouldn't know. Like, she wouldn't know how many shots she had. So we'd always buy the nips. That way we'd know, like, all right, you already had 6 nips. It's time to take it easy. You know, those are 100 proof.
To recognize that the boundary between
That's the equivalent of taking, like, 15 shots.
And all life on Earth,
she would drink all 10, though, no problem.
Trimaran, like many before it, was lost in its journey to the mythological.
And the worst thing was, while my wife's going through that problem where she probably needs help, my mother goes, oh, you chose a good one. She's just like me. Like, and the whole time up there, my mom's trying to get drugs. like you came up to see your
Concentrations of
grandson,
metals
like,
and hydrocarbons in the water show just how much the Gulf
and it was
has
right around
progressed
Paige's
since
birthday too.
Amerigo
She almost killed my
Vespucci
wife
first
on her
arrived
fucking
here
birthday.
in 1497.
And all I wanted to do was take Paige up to New Hampshire. We were gonna shoot off fireworks and have a good time. And my mom made the whole fucking week and a half. I think she was only there a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks tops. But it was all about her. Her. Not her new grandson, not Paige's birthday it was, not her son who she's seeing for the first time more than a day. It's all her. Poor me, poor this. I'm gonna get a trailer and I'm moving in. Fred, you're my favorite son. I was so worried because you were so much younger at the time, and I'm like, you have a teenage daughter down south. Like, go be with her. And I remember telling her that too. Like, we don't need you anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there's someone out there who needs you, who's still a child.
So Ryden is 6, so that would make me 12.
She's 7. He's 7, sorry.
Okay, so that's 11. So
You were
11.
11.
Yeah, I desperately needed her.
And she was up here, like, trying to move in and get a trailer and have me buy her land. And you know what she told me after I got divorced and lost the house and everything? I bought a house, had all this shit. She's like, I can't believe that you've fallen so low. It's like, I didn't fall low, Mom. It's called a divorce. Like, I actually got to owning a home and land and stuff. You never had that. How old is she now? 60?
My mom?
Yeah, our mom.
52.
52, oh my god.
Yeah, she's a little young one.
Seeing how my father was in his 60s when he died.
Oh my god. And she was 16?
No, Sean's dad. She was 18 with my dad. So my dad did wait till she was 18. He was like my age. So when my dad was 32, that'd be like if I got with an 18-year-old. And what was our conversation we had earlier? I wouldn't even do that.
Yeah.
But I hit the point where, like, I wouldn't go under 20. I'd probably think 24 is a mature enough age. But any younger than 24, honestly, would be me taking advantage of someone. I honestly think that if I got with a girl who was like 20, 18, she would be like not able to get an apartment, not able to, you know, hold herself down or get a job. Like, I could get a job right now at $30 an hour. You couldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, it's like taking advantage.
Yeah, but our mother, what stories do we have? What does it look like?
Like, we didn't just tell, like, 16 crazy ones. I'm really excited to hear yours, though, because there's a big gap in my life. Like, she left. I think the last time I saw her, I was 3, and then I didn't see her again until I was 24. So, there's a good 21-year gap that I never saw her, barely ever heard from her. Maybe had 3 or 4 phone calls in 3 years.
I'm gonna
21
say
years.
this as blunt as I can.
500 million
I can't
years
be
of
around
terrestrial
an open
evolution
flame
reaches
because
its
of her.
apex with prosperity
God,
and
why?
spacious flow-through floor plans.
So, she had a friend named Lee. I don't know when she went on, but I was about 3. And she took me over to Leanne's house. And it's all a blur. All I remember is intense heat. And my grandma comes over because my dad was there. He's like, something's wrong with Carmen. She's refusing to eat and swallow and talk. He thought I was assaulted or something.
Oh, don't we both have the same tongue, too?
Yeah, we have the same
The
damaged
Gulf
tongue.
is vast. 600,000
You know what's
square
sad?
surface miles to be
What?
exact.
I'm gonna wait till your
making it
story's over.
fifth
Go ahead.
Among the world's seas.
And when my grandma comes over, she was next to me, making sure I wasn't like assaulted. And she noticed these like red marks all over my whole body. And then she goes, Carmen, open your mouth. And there's this cut.
The accelerating
Blistering
destruction of the
cut
Gulf has
on my
occurred in
tongue.
tandem with a fully humanized view of progress. A great way to discourage museum attendance is to put your museum underwater.
And my mom refused to. Oh, you bit your tongue. That's why your tongue is damaged.
Oh my god. She does the same thing on my feet. She's like, oh, it looks like you really broke your foot and stuff in Taekwondo because you and your brother do martial arts. Like, Mom, I've had this fucked up toe because when they got me, I was 2 years old and I was still wearing the first pair of shoes she ever bought me. So I have like docked feet. You know how like Asian people have docked feet?
Mhm.
So that's what I was gonna say actually. So my ex-girlfriend, oh, that's the first time I've seen a sperm whale. So my ex-girlfriend, right? We actually bonded over our abusive parents because her parents did the same thing to her feet. And I remember laying in bed with her one day, like we were laying naked together, and our feet were like over each other. And it was the first time I had saw her bare feet because she always hid them. And she was like super self-conscious, and I was like, I remember being like, it's okay, like I don't like feet, and that makes me feel better about my feet. So we turned the lights on, and I showed her how like I had my two broken big toes that were docked because of my parent, because of my mother. I don't know. I don't know. My father even had much of a chance with me because he was gone very quickly. But she has, so like her pinky toe goes over like her ring finger toe, and her like pointer toe or index toe goes over her big toe.
Belong to the public,
And then my two
from
big
Roman
toes go
Emperor
over my
Justinian, but only because he wasn't
pointer
able
toe.
to consult
So
with the
like
Association of Resort
we
Developers
should not
eternally
be
wise
bonding over the
lobbyists.
fact that our parents abused us and didn't buy us shoes that fit. Like I made sure
Fort
my son
Clovis
was
City
always wearing a
Council
pair of
never
shoes that
misses
were
an
like one
opportunity
size
for
too big.
cross-franchising.
Until like now, because he's at that age now where he kind of like picks his own shoes out and he's running, and you know what I mean. But when he was younger, I was so worried about his feet because just like my trauma, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm like making sure his shoes are big, and
It's vital that we
Paige is
extract
like,
an
those shoes are too
absolute
big. I'm like, I'm not
maximum of
putting my kids'
resources
feet in the small
before we
shoes.
cross Earth's
What?
apocalyptic threshold.
And also, he owned like 100 pairs of shoes because I was just like, I didn't get shoes when I was a kid, you know. I spoil the hell out of
No
my
one
kid.
knows who built this mysterious underwater base, but odds are
I have
they probably
webs
own a
that
Nehru
showed you
jacket
how, like,
and a
3 of my
Persian
toes are
cat.
fused at the bottom.
You what? Sorry.
3 of my toes on one foot is fused at the bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah, I sent you a photo of it one day. It's barely noticeable.
did?
It just
Along
looks like
Blanchard
there's extra
County's
fat,
78-mile
but,
coastline,
yeah, they're like
there are
fused.
Oh
35
yeah, you
miles
did.
of
I
sandy
remember.
beach.
Yeah.
Only 6
Because you
of
were
which
like, oh,
are
I
owned
have
by resorts,
stuff. Your feet don't look
individuals, or
nearly as bad
homeowners
as mine, though.
associations.
I wouldn't really notice other than like you pointing it out, which is good.
The underwater world is
Yeah,
a
because I
fantasia,
have a heart
bustling
murmur,
with color and activity.
autism, fused toes, and
Jesus.
bad lungs. All because she's right here.
Yeah, and you don't smoke at all, and you never have. You tried cigarettes, but probably what, like a week of your life?
Yeah.
So yeah.
This protein supplement has 0 additives, so the shark doesn't have to
But
worry
I
about
also
hidden
watched her
artificial
stack
colors or flavors.
That must have been nice.
Yeah,
She told me that
very
story
wholesome.
actually. She's like, I had a knife on the coffee table in front of me. And she's like, I'm not allowed near those. I'm like, near what? Like I'm looking around and she's like, near that. Like she wanted to touch it really bad. She's like, can I? And then she just grabs it anyway and opens it up. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, I stabbed a man before, my ex-husband. And I thought she was talking about my dad at first. And she's like, no, my other husband. So how many
Some
times was
sharks
she
are
married? 3?
scavengers, indiscriminately
Yeah.
consuming anything that's vaguely
And I
edible.
know she was about to marry Bryce.
She was engaged twice with Bryce and once with Spike.
How long has she known Spike? Because I'd never heard his name once until you said it the other day.
Like
Ever.
2 months.
And getting married. That's such a drug dealer name. By the way, when I was hanging out with Ashley yesterday, I told her I didn't want to talk too much about you because I don't like talking about people behind their back or whatnot, or like without their permission. But I did tell her that you told me her boyfriend's name was Spike and everything. And right away I was like, yeah, my mom's dating a guy named Spike who's younger than me. And he's like, that's a drug dealer. I'm like, that's exactly what I said. Spike
Let me send
is...
you a photo of this Spike guy.
Oh, yes, please. This man was younger than me. Wow, I'm out.
But, one time she fought me because I dropped an olive on her neighbor's porch.
An olive.
Yep,
I remember her beating the shit out of him. Like, I remember being a kid, and she was slapping my my face, and her hand was like engulfing and covering my face, so I was like a baby. Like her hands aren't bigger than mine, you know what I mean? And her hands were completely wrapping around my head, and she was slapping me so fucking hard, like my face was stinging, because I called her Diane. I must have been, mind you, I left at 2, so I must have been about 2 years old. And I was like, Diane, because everyone was calling her Diane. And then she's like, you call me Mom! And was like beating the shit out of me.
Port Clovis to pregame before destroying more
So,
cities.
Mind you, I never would hit a fucking 2-year-old. I can't imagine hitting my 2-year-old for anything. I wouldn't hit my 7-year-old. Like, but well, same
Such
kid.
an innocent thing too. Yeah, one time I called her Diana on the phone, and she hung up on me and drove over here and cussed me out, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm literally 8.
My son calls me Fred once in a while, and I just remind him, you know, it's you call me daddy around people or whatnot. I'm like, it's fine, you know, I'm not upset, but like if people are around, you don't call me Fred because that's considered disrespect. And he was like, why is that? Your name's Fred. And I'm like, honestly, I don't know. But all I know is that people get very, like, they look at it as disrespectful. And he's like, okay. And that was the end of that. You know? Once in a while, if he's telling a story or whatnot, he'll be like, you know, I was talking to Mom, and Mom was like, you know, I don't know about what Fred's doing this weekend or whatnot. And I was like, I want to go see Daddy. So he would never put me like in the first person perspective as Fred. But like, there's nothing wrong with him using my name in a third like he's telling a story where she said my name. You know? Like that's not wrong. So I don't know, man. I just think it's insane. Our mother is absolutely psychotic. Honestly.
One time for my birthday, she left out a cake for some she gave it to me, and it had flies all over it. And I refused to eat it. She cried, fell, she fell and hit the door. And then we had to take her to the hospital. And we found out that she was overdosing on drugs while that was happening.
Oh my God! Can you turn up your mic just a little bit?
Oh yeah.
And I'll even turn my game volume down. Oh no, it's with the main menu. Why'd I do that? That's alright, it saves. So, I'm gonna turn my master volume down to 7. So, yeah, ask those questions.
Oh yeah, questions. Okay, so the first question is, what's your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve.
Does look inviting,
in general, or with her? Because in general, one of my biggest pet peeves is being touched in the face. Which I hated. My ex-girlfriend knew that. So what she used to do to try to like see how much she loved me was touch my face. You know, like I feel like your face and like your head is like your temple. It's where your thought, your mind, your soul, and everything lies. And like you shouldn't, I don't know, touch people's faces. There's no reason for you to ever put your hands on my face. You know what I mean? If you're in a relationship or whatnot and you're kissing or something, that's something else. You know, that's not like, I won't freak out. But growing up, for some reason, I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. Probably my mom beating the living shit out of me, actually. Now that we've talked about it, it makes sense. I never understood why. But yeah, I've just never liked people touching my face. And now I think I know why.
My biggest pet peeve is chewing sounds. But it was simply because my brother Nick would just chew in my face when I was little and mock me. And I'd be like, please close your mouth. And he'd go, and just mock me standing there. And I was like, like a little baby. And for some reason, ever since then, every time someone's chewing their mouth open, I'm like, stop! Stop it!
You know what I really hate, now that you bring it up? When people drag their teeth on silverware. Like, you have lips. You don't need to drag your teeth across a spoon or fork and make that screeching noise. Oh, I hate that. Yeah, that sucks.
The second question is, what was your first smartphone / pocket computer phone?
So, the first smartphone in existence? I had every iPod that ever came out. So when I was growing up, iPod came out, I made sure I bought every single iPod. and I got the iPod Touch, and like 3 weeks later, they added a phone app, and they had the iPhone. So I had the first iPhone, and I remember my friend got the BlackBerry right after, and they were the only two smartphones in existence. So my smartphone was literally the first smartphone ever built. People used to argue that Blackberries were smartphones because they had like built-in like notepads, but I didn't really consider a smartphone till they had music, you know?
Yeah.
Like a camera and music, and that was iPhone.
My first smartphone was the iPhone 5 with the very old charger.
Yep. Oh yeah, the old chargers were huge too. They were the old iPod chargers. Those actually worked though. They clipped in, you know what I mean? They didn't tear, rip, or break. It's almost like they had to get rid of them because those chargers were like indestructible. So they were like, we need to make it so people have to buy chargers. Let's make them worse. Because those worked. The original iPhones were built to last.
How many phones have you owned?
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to estimate on this one. I broke a phone almost every year until my son was born. So that's at least... I want to say I've owned probably between 30 and 40 phones.
What? I've only owned
Smartphones. Smartphones. I also owned like 6 Nokias. So we're talking almost between 40 and 50 phones I've owned. And that's just what I've owned. I bought other people's phones. I probably bought 70 phones in my life. Now that I'm thinking about it, holy crap, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I bought my ex at least 5 phones in the last year. I bought 1. I've been on the same phone for over a year. I've gone to the point where I don't...
my mom a TLC A3.
I bought her one of those too. I actually bought her the Note version of... what are these phones? I always forget. The Motorola Moto Gs.
Yeah,
these are actually nice phones. I'm surprised Motorola turned around.
Nice.
Motorola used to be a horrible phone company. But I like them. Yeah, the one I have like the best one you can get, the Motorola Stylus. But I got the one that's the Stylus G, I think it is, with all that memory.
I thought you were using Samsung.
No, not anymore. I usually use the Samsung Galaxies. I like the Galaxy S9 was my last favorite. No, I had a 10 Note, but I like the S9. I had it longer. The 10 Note I bought, my ex threw in the snow. That's why I don't have it anymore. Like, first snowstorm of the year, we were walking, it was a brand new phone. I think I paid maybe 2 payments on it. And she whipped it, it was a white phone, and she whipped it in about 5 feet of snow in someone's backyard, and it was gone for good. So I told her, you're paying for the rest of that phone. And she took over the contract. And that was the last contracted phone I bought, and that was through Sprint. And then I moved to Straight Talk. And honestly,
I use T-Mobile.
I love my phone. I love it.
I use a Samsung S21.
That's a good phone. I like the S series. If it's an S series, I'm down. Yours is probably, I think the 21. What came after the S10? Because that's not 2010, just to let you know. They were going in order, and then they just jumped like 10 phones. They were like, this is the S10, this is the S20. I'm like, what? They switched to years. They switched to like what year it was. So like next year would be S24, but that's not how it used to be. It used to be like you had the Galaxy 1, the Galaxy 2, the Galaxy 3, the Galaxy 4. I love Galaxies. Actually, I'm thinking about getting a Z Fold, but I want to wait one more generation. I want them to get the screen correct. I already see my friend's Z Fold.
Oh
and
yeah,
like
I love the Z Fold.
But my friend's has a crease. You can tell that the screens aren't perfected yet. So I'm think they're just about there. So I think I'm gonna get the next one. Honestly, this Christmas, I usually like to buy them on Christmas. That's the time of year I save a lot of money, and I wait till right after Christmas. I take care of my son, and now that I don't have a wife, I usually take care of my son, my girlfriend, and my wife. And then the big gift though, I wait to buy my wife till like January 1st, And I also tell her, don't buy me a Christmas present till January 1st. That's so we can save a few $100s, you know? Right after Christmas, the price of everything drops. So we take care of the kids first, get a couple paychecks, and then we take care of each other. My birthday's January 9th anyway, so I always say you don't have to buy me anything for my birthday. The only thing I want from my wife on my birthday is sex. That's it. And then I'm good. So if you get right between my birthday and Christmas, that's January 1st.
The next question is, do you have a good Samaritan dream? For example, like if you won the lottery, you would...
Shark bounties became commonplace here after the previous mayor's practice of hiring
probably
Fijian
bigger than
shark
that.
charmers
I
who
want
were
to help
ineffective.
fund. There's this kid in India who figured out a way to break down styrofoam into charcoal filters. And I always thought that was the coolest thing in the world, and I don't think it's still to this day funded. So I would definitely fund that, because I think if we could go in the ocean and find a reason to mine styrofoam, it would make a difference, a huge difference in the world. How about you?
Oh yeah. For me, I would create a charity for kids first phones that are in...
Kids for phones? Is that what you said?
No, kids first phones.
Kids first phone. I like that. There are a lot of kids
so-
that don't get their first phone for so long too.
Yeah, so like the plan is, like I have the whole plan set up. Like I currently get lottery tickets in case I ever get this plan done. Let me open up my list and explain it to you.
Lottery tickets? So you're gonna do it with gamble money?
The spring of '73 was
I
a
don't know.
magical time.
I always figured I would do it. Well, everyone's got their own
Local favorite
idea of it.
trash
Like I always figured I
dog
would do it
placed
like
20th
a
in the dirt,
business,
and the
but not
city
everyone
placed
has
That horse
an
race would be
idea of a
embarrassing,
business
right?
plan. Or
But in
I have a
North
few
Clovis, they put
businesses
up
that I
money.
think I would do.
Gotta be the best.
Like I want to be a woodworker, or I would start my own like green sanding / like metal cloning business. But what I've always really wanted was to do the BioKeeper. It was my dying friend's legacy, which is a social media device set up for elderlies and families only. So this very interview actually ironically would be not necessary, because you'd have a BioKeeper, and if you didn't know your family, you'd buy a BioKeeper. You would say, you know, this is my lineage. You'd either, because we want to team up with 23andMe and stuff, you would put your DNA in or whatnot, or however you want to do it, and then you would be able to link up with your family, because everyone in your family would have a BioKeeper. And it would be a social media type thing. You take pictures of birthday parties and stuff, so kids that grow up without their families can find out where they're from and who they are and who their brothers and sisters and uncles and are, you know? Or if people
Yeah.
move away, like Chinese people who move to the United States who don't know their family. That was the whole concept. And you can't add friends. Maybe your like best friend, we thought, like your closest friend, but that's it. It's not a dating site, and it's not a talk crap site, and it's basically a non-toxic social media for families and legacies for generations. Originally, we were calling it the Legacy Keeper, and then it changed to the BioKeeper.
Okay. My grandma is yelling, Carmen! And so I'll be right back.
Well, we almost made it through an hour, so
Okay. Be right back.
already. So we got a couple missions done. We were able to take down
Another shark hunt
2 families,
brought to
get
a
to
close.
4. I think we took down a bounty hunter. Let's see, hold on. We got 5 minutes left. We got a secondary fin too. Oh, that takes red. You need to be in a grotto. We're gonna do this real quick because we have so much red. 87 red. So we're gonna go to our grotto. Upgrade our poison fin. I think we're gonna remove the bone fin. You know, I got the
likelihood of
bone
catastrophic
teeth
risk
too.
scenarios wasn't really considered when developers built a golf course in a flood zone.
A golf course in a flood zone. Watch this. Already maxed. Shadow fins. That's awesome. Check those out.
I'm
Dude,
back.
my shark is decked out. By episode 5, I already have maxed out fins, maxed out body, maxed out jaw, maxed out sonar organ. Now we just gotta work on the hardy and mineral, which I can actually upgrade right now.
I got an idea for once this episode's done.
Okay, it's almost done too. That's maxed out too. So now we have one organ that's not maxed out. Then we literally have a full maxed out shark. So, with further ado, because of the way this episode has already gone, do you have one more question? We got time.
No.
All right, like, comment, and subscribe.